Out.
No.
I'm good after the pledge. You can do a moment of silence for Mark.
For what?
Moment of silence for Mark. Ready? All right, we reached the hour of 8:30. We'll stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we get started this morning, we had an employee pass away last week. I'm going to ask for a moment of silence for Mark Peterson. He was our IT director for the county.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
Thank you. Today at 11 o'clock, his funeral is, and the family put it at 11 o'clock. That way, if anybody from staff here from LaGrange County wanted to go during the lunch hour, they could. But services at 11 o'clock at the Fruit May Funeral Home. Thank you. All right.
Make a motion, accept the agenda with flexibility.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the agenda with flexibility. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. First thing we have this morning is old business. Kurt?
Okay, just a couple items. The first item would be your current license agreement with Midway Farms for the approximate 130 acres of land south in the county for farming. That license agreement expires at the end of the year. And so, Terry, you've given me some guidance and direction, and I've put together a new document for you to take to them to consider, subject to everybody else's approval, of course, where it would be for a 5-year term starting January 1, 26 through December 31, 2030. And you have the amount that would be for license fee would be $22,984.20, payable in 2 installments, basically half each, May and November 1 of each year. So then there would be an annual 6% increase. If that's something you want to discuss further, I give that to Kevin. That's the original, and present to the farmer.
I met with them, went over this. We took a few acres out because it was unfarmable ground out there. And then there's they did increase the price, went up a little bit in the rental lease and that. So our license agreement, lease,
License,
it's always different.
a lot different.
So, but yeah, if you guys want to do this, you can approve it and have them sign outside the meeting when I meet with them on it. So if you got any questions about it, so.
You all right, Pete? Motion to approve the farm license agreement, people, and have it signed outside the meeting. Excuse me.
By the president? By the president or all of us?
By all of them.
Flip back, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Forgot.
I'm looking.
No, I
All of
didn't. I thought it was
Just the
Terry,
president.
but yeah.
It's just,
that's-
we
I'll second the agreement.
have a motion second to approve the license agreement for the farm on the south side of Oliver Lake. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, and it does have to be notarized, so after you meet with them, however you want to coordinate it, you're gonna need a notary to either go with you or go
Okay.
to see
Maybe
somebody.
I can have them come up here and meet me up here.
Thank you. So that's the original. You have it. So the other item is with respect to Theron, and I don't know if she's gonna do that in her present. Okay, so I'll just wait. I don't have anything else.
Okay, highway, Aaron.
Good morning. First thing on the agenda, I'm going to ask that we accept material bids for 7A, the slag products. Just ask that we accept that, please.
How many did you get on that?
We got one from 2 different locations from the Levy Company.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the bids for 7A.
Second.
Motion second to accept the bids for 7A for the highway department for slag. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Second item on the agenda, our hanging heater in our shop went out. So I communicated with the president of commissioners. He told me to move ahead immediately. Music's heating and cooling, put a hanging heater up in our garage in the amount of $6,513.48. We do have the funding for it. I did communicate that, and I ask that you approve that purchase.
It went out during that cold spell, and we needed to get it fixed right away and didn't have time before our next meeting and that, so they want them guys down there cold.
It's the warmest that garage has been in a long time.
I'll make a motion to approve the new furnace by Musics for $6,513.48.
Second.
The motion is second to approve the furnace by music for the highway department. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
You want to sign this one somewhere? Just, all right. Highway engineer, Theron.
I just gave Terry and Kathy the geotech proposal from GME testing. This is, council asked us to do this to get bores at the land at 250 North and 200 East. We'll do this up front, and then we will look into engineering services from here. We can pay this out of 1176 subcontractors. It is for 12 bores for $6,300. Yeah. Here, you can have mine.
That's okay, I just wanted to have it. so.
I just need to sign this, so.
I'm sorry, what was the amount again?
$6,300.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract with GME testing for $6,300.
Second.
The motion and second to approve the GME testing for the county's future highway barn site. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And then secondly, the drainage board had bid openings for the Francis number 9 drain. It's on 700 South and State Road 3. This was brought because of our project for the 2025-1 Community Crossings project. We have the resurfacing of 700 South, so we wanted to fix that beforehand. The quote from Adam Castle was the one that was awarded. And if you remember, the tile on the north side of 700 South between State Road 3 and the crossing of 700 South, right there by Geomori, not Geomori, whatever, is within the road right of way. So the owners of the road have to pay for it. So looking at our numbers, we actually have a change order from Niblock that saves us over $168,000. So I can pay for that portion out of that if you approve it. The portion of the tile within the right of way is $85,125. The crossing of 700 South is $36,550, but I can pay the crossing out of my funds if I'm allowed to pay for the tile portion out of the funds that were appropriated by council. Did that make sense?
Yeah, clear as mud.
In my brain, it makes
It's a lot
sense.
of muddy down there too.
Not sure it came out right.
Let me clarify that. The 36,550,
I can
you're
take
paying
out
for
of
from
mine.
somewhere else.
Yeah,
Okay.
out of 1135. I can encumber that.
It's gotta be done. I
Yeah.
mean,
And they reduced our, so yeah, we'll have the money.
It's a tricky one. Let's call it that.
I don't know what else to do. I'll make a motion to approve her to pay the 36.5 out of her fund and use the rest from the reduction in the overall expense to pay for it.
Is there a specific name for that project down there? Is it just culvert?
We are calling it 2025-1 resurfacing project. Zach is calling it the Francis number 9.
I'll second his motion.
Not repeating that.
Motion to second to approve the work down there on 700 South for the upcoming road work down there. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Physics, sorry.
All right. Parks Department.
Good morning. We're wanting to replace our heavy equipment trailer, so we asked for 3 quotes for a specific trailer. We only got one back from Lux Trailer in the amount of $12,500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have the funds for this.
You have the funds for it, you said?
We do.
Okay.
Is okay with it?
Yeah.
Motion to allow the Parks Department to purchase a new trailer from Lux for $12,500.
Second.
We have a motion to second to approve the purchase of a trailer from Lux for the Parks Department. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
George. Okay. IT,
Jenny.
Is Jenny here?
Yeah, she's.
Oh,
You have a list.
Yeah.
You do have it already.
we got it. Yeah, send it to us, right?
Yeah. Good morning.
You don't?
I just have property to be declared as surplus.
This stuff's not usable, right? Are you gonna try and sell it or anything like that? Or is this gonna be stuff we gotta get rid of,
The servers will have to be
destroyed?
right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't know if you guys wanted these as well. There's this list.
Yes.
I already
Most
gave
of
you.
them. Yeah,
Yes, thank you.
that's one she sent to us.
Yeah, we'll be on the email, so.
Yeah.
And that's all I have today.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
The others, I will have to see what condition they're in.
Yeah, and how old they were or anything like that, so, but. All right,
I'll make a motion to approve the items on the list for IT to be declared surplus.
Second.
we have a motion second to approve the items on the IT list to be surplus. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thanks. Clerk. Kim?
I'm kind of reading this. I don't know that you guys have to approve it, but we'll do it for the heck of it. It's an agreement between the clerk and the Indiana Department of Child Services, just to allow us to use the 4D system and to make sure that we're up to par with everything. So it's a contract that we have to sign.
You sign it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had that discussion.
Yeah.
I got reading. I thought, well, probably don't even have to approve that, but I was on the agenda, so.
I'll make a motion to approve Kim to sign her contract with, so she can use the 4D system.
I'll second it.
The motion second to approve Kim to sign her contract. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Better you than me. EMA. Bill. No, he put up here so we can look at it, because you guys needed to,
Oh, that's the-
yeah.
You put that on, Pete.
There's no place in it, so you can wear it.
Oh, yeah.
It's warm today.
Make some pretty big ones of those.
They don't. That's as big as you get.
That's the biggest size you
Yeah.
can
They're gonna have to pick and choose who wears them. 'Cause it's not gonna fit over their turnout gear.
Looking at purchase approvals, working with the sheriff's office, rescue task force equipment. We've got the mass casualty trailer that we purchased last year, trying to outfit that now. Should have the quotes there. So we're looking at 8 vests, like the example up there with plates for $47.04. And then there's also 8 rescue sleds. They roll up, be kind of stored easily. So 8 of those is 3980 for a total of 8684 for the 2 items.
And those sleds are pretty handy. We used them out at the hospital. You can take people down steps with them, cross carpet, everything. They just hook them in there and roll them up and pull them.
Yeah.
So it works great.
Where are we paying for this from?
I don't know.
I think we was going to take it out of the safety fund.
Yeah, you talked about that.
I guess, Bill, my only comment was, or question, I should say, was the comment was made that the fire department only goes in once the area is secured.
Kind of.
Kind of?
Yeah, I don't. Tracy could probably speak
They
on
went
that a
on the
little
shooter?
better. I mean, just the way that it works,
They're probably going
there's
to go in areas
different
that are
ways.
secured before. I don't think they're, but yeah, they've changed it so many times.
Yeah, the whole reason for this was just as a safety measure for our first responders, just to have that protection there. When we started bringing up the rescue task force several years ago, after doing training at some of the schools, the sleds were brought up. I think it'd be a good idea. We can put people on there and not have to worry about getting gurneys in there, keep the medics back. And you're only going to take a small amount, typically 4 to 5 of the firemen in at a time, and they would go in with the officers as well. But it'd be just an extra step of measure for safety.
Right.
The sleds are really good because you're not going to have enough cots for the ambulances to come out. You got 1 cot per medic.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not against it. I was just
No.
questioning.
That's just a safety measure. So after this weekend, it was another
Yeah,
of them for active shooters.
the Brown University and in Australia. So
Who has this equipment? Who will end up with this equipment?
It'll be stored in our mass casualty trailer,
In
so
mass-
I'll have possession of it. It'll be shared throughout the county then.
Oh,
I'm good.
a second. I make a motion to approve EMA to purchase the sleds and the vests.
Second.
have motion second to approve the purchase from the EMA department, pay for it out of the safety tax fund for the purchase of the sleds and the vests. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, Sherry, how long is you gonna take? You have an idea?
I'm not sure if we'll get done in 10 minutes. but-
Well, I'm gonna move you down a little bit then, so we're gonna annual certification, nepotism and contract disclosures.
So we have all the certifications for all elected officials that they haven't hired relatives and that they
Mhm.
don't have a financial interest in contracts. So those just need your approval.
I guess motion to approve the signing of annual certification of elected officials, compliance with county nepotism policy of hiring of supervision of relatives, signed by all 3 of us.
Second.
The motion is second to approve the annual certifications. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Financial statement for November 30th.
For the month ending November 30th, 2025, we had cash and deposits in the amount of $71,406,970.20. Investments of $19,652,340.
Motion to approve.
Second.
The motion is second to approve the financial statement. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion
Aye.
carries. Accounts payable. I didn't see anything.
Anything outstanding on it? Make a motion to approve.
Second.
The motion is second to approve accounts payable. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Minutes from December 1st and special on 10th, I'm sorry. It's so light on this one here. So
Mhm. Motion to approve the minutes from the 1st and the 10th.
Second.
a motion second to approve the minutes from December 10th and the special for December 10th. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Memorandum from December 10th and executive from December 10th.
Motion to approve the following two memoranda.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve the memorandum. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay,
Well, now Sherry has 8 minutes.
now she's got 8 minutes. It's either now or you're gonna have to wait till after the public hearing.
Do we get cut off at 9?
You don't have to.
No.
Not really. I'll let you finish it. I had Sherry comes, there were some questions about, some of the things that were brought up that, it was a housing thing, right?
Yeah, so I'm looking for approval for a resolution by you guys to opt into the Housing Optimizers pre-construction grant program to support housing activation. I know there was a bunch of questions, so I brought Jacob Irie from the partnership. He takes care of the Strategic Development Commission and the RDA. So he's going to talk a little bit more about it, just so you have a good understanding and if we can answer any questions.
Morning.
Can I start off by what questions exactly, and I can address them as they come?
Did you have them, Kurt, or was it?
No, I just, I'll share my comments and then they can push back or whatever. My comments aren't to be negative about it at all, it's just informative. And so
Absolutely.
I told the commissioners that they need to understand if they adopt this resolution that DEC will have access to this funding through the grant program. And which is great, but that the county will ultimately be accountable for the funds. And so my concern and comment for them was to understand that if you do this, you need to make sure you have a representative, whoever that is, whether that's Sherry, or Kathy, or somebody that is ultimately able to ensure that the money is spent in compliance with the grant. So my comments to them are basically that. If they approve this resolution, then it of course authorizes the EDC to have access to this grant funding, but ultimately they're accountable for it. So I want them to understand that, so that they need to realize that it has to be spent in accordance with the grant. And I've never seen the grant terms and conditions, so I don't know what that is. So it's kind of a blank check, so to speak, but that's okay, as long as they understand that and they have somebody competent to monitor and ensure compliance with the grant. And then the other thing was really to point out that it appears to be, from what I can see, a 5-year sustainability plan has to be put together. And I don't know if that's something the EDC does or they do, but so those are some of the questions I had. Otherwise, it looks like from comparative grants that you guys have done in the past, somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 to 400,000 is what I've seen granted over the years for other people. So
Yeah.
those were my comments. Basically, the largest one is to make sure they understand when they opt in, they're accountable for it. And so they need to make sure they have somebody, whether that's Sherry, Kathy, Terry, somebody else, making sure they're complying when this money is spent, because it's easy to get the grant, it's easy to spend the money, but in the end, they gotta be accountable for it. So.
My question is this gonna cost the county anything? I don't know if it was, and I couldn't quite remember, so.
No, and so we set the opt-in the way that it was because we had $10 million awarded to the Strategic Development Commission for the region that was set aside for housing. The housing committee got together, and with the READY program going on and having like a lot of data in for what these projects cost, where money can typically come in for infrastructure and what things cost nowadays, we were looking at doing, like, if I wanted to be really good at my job and like really mean to a lot of people, like maybe 5 projects for the 11 counties in the region. And that doesn't move the needle a lot. So this grant program was set up to provide a pool of funds for communities to choose their own destiny and respond to their housing needs how they want with the organizations that they choose to partner with. Which is a crazy thing in grant world to like tell someone like, oh, you tell me, right? So there's no money up front. This opt-in isn't even to, it gives people access to the funds, but largely it was for us to be able to account for that, the 5.4 million of the 10 million, doing like a little Bernie Sanders impression for everybody, just numbers. But just to account for where that money would go so we could pre-plan how much all of the participating units could, have up to. So we had a per capita measure system, we weighted that a little more favorably to rural communities, just because it's harder to build housing in rural communities, and that's not surprising. But we just wanted to have that pre-accountability. As far as accounting for proper use of funds, thank you, because that's my whole job, and it's a miserable one. It's a reimbursing grant, so we work with anyone who received the funding. We work with them before any money is spent into the categories that are allowable. This one's a pretty low bar of clearance. We have a list of about 9 things that are by right reimbursements: engineering, design, certain cases land acquisition. If you buy land with the funding, you have a year to start a project on it. Otherwise, you have to sell it to keep the projects going. And I even was lucky enough to get them to approve an item number 10, which is let's talk about it, because all these projects are different. Some might have serious drainage problems and might need some more intensive looks at that, severe environmental issues. But really, it was just, this resolution is just for us to be able to do the accounting work to make sure that we are spreading the money in this grant program appropriately before it shows up, and then we're scrambling to figure out how to get everyone paid.
There's no special training certification we need or anything for the counties, or is that what Sherry's doing?
So Sherry's already doing that. So
that's what the training you're going to, Sherry? That's what I thought.
And the SDC provided the funding for that as well. And that's just Ryan Chasey, who works with the program through Ball State. It's just the driver's license. So that's to get people certified in the process and what they have to follow within the grant program. And Sherry has already been undertaking that. So getting that certification is also one of the conditions to receive the funding. And Sherry's been a little ahead of the curve on that one.
Any other questions?
I really don't. They've been answered.
What's the funding source? Is this federal money, state money?
It's state money, thankfully. So it was a special appropriation from the State House, which has been given to the Strategic Development Commission. And the RDA is essentially the fiscal agent. So we're the RDC to the SDC's county commission.
So just trying to wrap my brain around this.
Mhm.
So essentially, somebody needs help. They have to apply for it. You guys review it, decide whether it's good or not. I mean, whether their request is good. And then does the money ever come to the county? Or does it literally just go to the EDC? Do we, I mean, that's what I'm wondering. Do we ever actually handle the money, or does it go directly from the application through the EDC to the applicant, or is it?
This is like my favorite thing about doing these programs, because like I get to be it's up to you. If the county just wants to endorse the funds, I also push back on the county having to be responsible. We just need we just want the local unit of government to have a sponsored organization. So the grant could still be very well to the EDC. We just wanted to make sure that all of our local government partners were aware.
It says the county agrees to comply and ensure proper use of the funds. Pretty simple language.
I mean, fair enough. But like, that's not really how we necessarily envisioned it. If that was more, if they were, you can if you want, because this is just pre-accounting. And we sent out those templates not necessarily to be prescriptive, but just to have some language together. So it was a 3-month turnaround, and that's pretty quick to make a decision.
Well, not a complaint, just it says.
No, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also a super easy red line. So
I just took care of it.
yeah.
I guess that's probably my biggest concern, is because we'll never see who gets it necessarily. We'll never know, and we don't know.
Part of that certification is that we have a committee, though, an optimizing committee. So like the committee it won't be my decision.
Yeah.
We're laying out this whole plan.
I don't want to turn into Minnesota is what I'm
You're
getting
on
at.
that committee.
Yeah, right.
I don't think I told you.
Way to go, Pete.
Yeah, thanks for
Was that
handling
a
it for us.
volunteer moment? Okay.
If the
what
county's
happens.
gonna be responsible, the funds have to come through my office.
Right.
Well, he just
And
took
we
that
have-
line.
Yeah,
I know,
out,
I'm
so
just saying
Yeah,
that's.
yeah. That's kind of why I was, that was my concern is,
Yeah.
we
We can-
obviously, we'd be
we can
responsible for
approve
something if
that.
we don't.
Pending that, yeah, subject to things, so I don't have a problem with it.
I don't think you want to do that, in my opinion. Like us pay for it and then I don't think we want to do it that way.
Yeah, that's also a big part of my job, and you're right. I never want to do it that
Yeah,
way, but here I
didn't
am.
think so. But, I mean, I guess if we don't have to have that in there, we're technically responsible for the funds. Then I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, that was my.
That was the only thing he was worried about was that, so.
Yeah, and like I said, we just wanted to make sure that with the mayors and commissioners caucus that we always keep our local elected officials as involved as we absolutely can, because just for the regional development authority, we work for the county commissioners and mayors.
We just don't want to get in a situation where it's the funding all comes from the feds or from the state, and all of a sudden a year or two down the road, oh, by the way, you guys got to take the funding over now. So we just want to stay out of those situations. We've had that happen a few times.
Fair enough.
So-
Absolutely.
But yeah, if that can be taken out, I have a problem with the resolution.
I don't think I have a Word version of it. Okay.
Okay, I've got a Word version of it.
So I'll make a motion to approve what are we calling it?
Resolution, isn't it?
The optimizer resolution,
Opt-in.
opt-in resolution. I was calling it optimizer. That's funny. And once Kurt has the opportunity to make the small changes we need to make, and have the president sign outside all three of us sign outside the public meeting, since we don't have it currently.
I'll second.
I can't help it. It's a Kurt.
We have motion second to approve the resolution with the changes made by the county attorney and sign outside the meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thanks, Sherry.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming up. I
Did we get 8
appreciate it.
minutes?
Huh?
Did we get 8 minutes?
You did good.
That's the 10. That's pretty good.
Okay, right now we're gonna open up the public hearing for Inspiration Ministries for Okra Grant. That's you?
This is the authorization for me to take minutes. Yes, if I could have Sherry sign that before I start. Thanks,
Do you know what you're signing?
No, you're gonna take minutes.
Yeah, that's me.
I heard that.
Thank you. All right. Okay, I'm going to get this started. I am Sandra Temez. I'm the Executive Director and Grant Administrator with Region 3A. We're assisting LaGrange County with a Community Development Block Grant. This program is funded by Title I of the Federal Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended. These funds are to be used for the new construction of a building to accommodate level 4 recovery housing. On or February 22nd, 2026, LaGrange County will be applying to the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs for federal funding from Housing and Urban Development, and Inspiration Ministries is going to be the subrecipient. The total amount of CDBG funds requested is $750,000. The amount of CDBG funds to be used for activities will benefit low and moderate income persons is estimated at $382,500. The applicant also proposes to expend an estimated $150,234 in non-CDBG funds on the project. These funds will be derived from Inspiration Ministries of cash on hand of $149,734, and the LaGrange County Opioid Fund is committed $500 to this project. This is the first public hearing, which must be conducted before a proposal can be submitted. The deadline for proposals is this Friday, December 19th. 2025. The second public hearing will take place ahead of the application deadline of February 22nd of 2026. This is a very competitive grant. We will be competing with other applications from across the state, and we'll learn if this grant is funded in the spring of 2026. Kathy, have you received any responses from the public? No. Okay. I would like to give an overview of the project. Hey, bear with me. This project will construct a recovery housing facility on a parcel of land in LaGrange County, near State Road 9 and near the LaGrange County Jail. The proposed recovery housing facility will feature 5 bedrooms with closets and storage that meet INARR standards, 18 beds along with four full bathrooms, and includes an open concept kitchen connected to a spacious dining room, 3 large gathering spaces, and a bonus study on the 3rd floor. To support residents, the home will have 2 laundry rooms, 1 on each floor, 3 offices for clinical services, case management, and peer support, as well as mechanical rooms on both floors. The facility will be restricted to men and will provide 8 beds for court-involved individuals and 7 beds for veterans. The facility will accommodate only men in need of treatment for substance abuse. The project goals are to develop and expand recovery services in LaGrange County and to help meet community health and wellness needs. So I'd like to go over the scoring criteria for this grant. There are a total of 700 points available. Applications must achieve a minimum score of 450 points in order to be eligible for an award. Points are achieved in 6 ways: national objective, community distress factors, local match contribution, and Indiana recovery residence designations, feasibility studies, and project design factors and program specific points. The national objective category is worth 100 points. The national objective for all RHP projects is low and moderate income, limited clientele. So this means that there is a presumption of at least 51% of all that will be served in the facility are low to moderate income. This project will receive 51 points along with everybody else who applies. The community distress factors category is 150 points. Various factors, are used to determine the distress of a community. Okra has partnered with Stats Indiana, an Indiana University entity, to analyze and calculate the distress of Indiana's small towns, cities, counties, and townships. Factors used to calculate the community distress points are used for CDBG scoring, which include the percentage of households with income under poverty level, median household income, percent of housing units that are vacant, median home value, unemployment rate, labor force participation. A community distress score for LaGrange County is 46.1. The local match category is worth 25 points. This is based on a percentage of local funds devoted to the project, not grant request. We would only get 1 point per percentage of local match with a cap of 25 points. Our project will be funded at 20% local match, so we will get 20 points. The project design factor is worth 300 points and is split into 3 areas. These include the project description. Is the project clearly defined as to determine eligibility? This area is worth 50 points. Next is project need. Is the community need for this project documented and well compelling? This area is worth 125 points. One way to demonstrate need is letters of support. We do have a few already. If you would like to write a letter of support for this project, we ask that you get us that by February 16th, so it can be included in the final application in February. We ask that letters of support focus on why the project is needed for the county and why you believe it is a priority. And the last area is financial impact. Why is grant assistance necessary to complete this project? And this area is worth 125 points. The program specific points is worth 65 points, excuse me. The first area is non-entitlement communities. This area is worth 10 points. A maximum of 10 points will be awarded to applicants that are non-entitlement. That would be us. The second area is beds available to pregnant women or women with dependent children. In this area is worth 15 points. Maximum of 1 point will be awarded per bed for the facility that is available to pregnant women or women with dependents of 15 points. We will not get any here. The third area is individuals with justice involvement. This area is worth 10 points. A maximum of 1 point will be awarded per new bed, and that is provided by the facility that is available to persons involved in the court-ordered rehab up to 10 points. The fourth area is beds available to veterans worth 15 points. A maximum of 1 point will be awarded per new bed that is provided by the facility and made available to veterans up to 15 points. The fifth area is project sustainability. This area is worth 15 points. A maximum of 15 points will be awarded for documentation of national opioid settlement funds being used as project match. Finally, there are bonus points available with a maximum of 25 points. This is the Division of Mental Health and Addictions policy to encourage medication-assisted treatment amongst providers. As such, a grant application should include how the provider will support residents in their recovery through the acceptance of individuals on medication for treatment of their substance use disorder. Applications that include policies written in a manner to encourage and support use of medications, including but not limited to nicotine replacement, long-acting injectables, and daily medication for substance use disorder will be awarded a maximum of 25 points, and Inspiration should get 25 points for that. I can now open it up for public comment. If anybody has any questions or comments, if you do, just state your name so we can have it on the record.
Anybody want to speak on this, for or against? You need to step up here to the podium, please. State your name.
Hi, I'm Nancy Taylor, and I'm not from LaGrange. I am from Noble County, but I just wanted to just say a little something about Inspiration Ministries. My husband and I own 2 manufacturing businesses in Kendallville, Quick Tanks and Alumilex Structures. We were introduced to Inspiration Ministries in 2022, and this ministry has been a blessing. We, at a time when kind of hard to find good workforce and good employees, we discovered that residents of Inspiration Ministries were looking for opportunities for work, and it's been a win-win. They are awesome employees, grateful team players, hard workers, appreciative. Since then, we have currently 8 employees, so about 10% of our workforce. Inspiration Ministries is our first go-to when we're looking for a new employee. My husband and I have talked that these guys can change the culture of our workforce because they're so positive. They're a bright light, and they really have been very positive. So once we kind of got to know from a business standpoint, we got involved a little bit personally. So I can tell you, we started doing meals once a month at the Recovery Access Camp, which is in Kendallville, houses about 20 men. Got to know them and got to see the inner workings, the internal work of what they do. Their model that they use for recovery is amazing. It's successful. The leadership, the staff are all passionate about helping all these people need a second chance. And given that, they've become great people, good employees, reunited with families, working and staying in the community. And I know sometimes when a house like this comes up in a community, there's a lot of concerns about, how are they going to take care of things, and it really is a positive, and it's given some people that really are good people a second chance that need it. They've been good stewards of the funds they've received. And I just can't tell you enough, the good that they've done in our community. And I also think about putting myself in their shoes if I were one of the residents. And some of them, a lot of them have, had circumstances that I can't even begin to imagine. And so it's also an opportunity for second chances, but no regrets at all when it comes to hiring. And actually, we've kind of become neighbors too now in the community too, because they just have got a facility that's not too far from where I live, and they keep it up. But just to let you know, great nonprofit. The staff is amazing. They are hardworking. They're committed. And it's filling a need in the community too for recovery. It's long-term recovery, and the success there is great. So I just kind of wanted to put in my 2 cents because I think it's very worthwhile organization.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I forgot to mention in the beginning, we got a 3-minute time limit on this. So I'm going to keep time on this. So you got 3 minutes.
I'll go fast, Terry. Thank you. I'm John Schmidt from LaGrange County, lived here most of my life. And this all started with my good friend, John Drum. He was in prison for 38 years and did meet the Lord in prison and changed his life around and said, there's so many people out here at the jail that just don't have a chance to make things work. And he said, we need to do something. And I said, I am not up for reinventing the wheel. We met Don Harvey and Chris Short, and we talked about what this was. And I think we blindsided them by saying we wanted to do this. And they said, this is a great opportunity. Go ahead. I said, no, we're not doing this. We need your help. And so that's where this all stemmed from. I do appreciate your willingness to donate this land for us to build this facility on if this Okra grant comes through. So a couple things. Spiritual benefit of this is the men are meeting the Lord and are changing their lives around. This is a restoration program is what this is. The statistics that I heard at a meeting that we had the other day is 70% is the average of what people do the revolving door. They go back and forth, round and round and round in this squirrel cage of life. It's a 70% citizen rate is what it is. It's a funny word. Anyways, Inspiration Ministries has dialed this down to less than a 10% thing. They still have issues. I'm sure there's going to be challenges with this thing, but we're asking that this Okra grant people, if you would grant us this, that we are going to do our best to make this work. My wife and myself, Cindy and I, are personally invested in this project and are ready for this to hit the ground running. And then from the worldly side of this thing, as a taxpayer, if these guys are going round and round and round in this system, we as taxpayers are continuously supporting and having to pay for this jail and pay for this and the crime and the things that go along with this. So this is a chance to break the cycle. And obviously they've made this work. They've got, and remember, there was 5 houses, I believe, that we went to a dinner party that they had, and it's working. Again, they are, Andy and Don have started this thing and have been very instrumental in doing this. I'm sure they have their share of challenges, have been very good at this. The other part that I heard at a meeting is that this works very well if Inspiration and Drug Court work together, as far as the two are kind of a great match, that they're able to put things together and get people restored. I think that's all. Am I under 3 minutes?
Yeah, 2.5.
Thank you.
Thanks.
John didn't add, he would be a neighbor to them out there.
Yeah.
Good morning, Devin Hosteller. I am a longtime resident here in LaGrange County, and I have over 30 years of law enforcement experience. And I just wanted to come up and say, as somebody who's been around for long enough to see generations of generations, and what that generational effect will do on a father, and what they relay down to their sons and daughters. And when I first started 30 years ago, I'm now seeing the sons and daughters of those same men and women that we were dealing with back then, because they continued to make those poor choices and they pass that on to their children. But there are many as well that have come along that I've seen that they've made the proper choices. They've made those changes in their life, and I've seen how it affect their sons and daughters as well. And now they're making the right choices as they move on. And this ministry is that opportunity. We have lots of chaplains that go into the jails, and they go in there and they spread that initial seed, and we have, we talk about, jailhouse Christianity. You become a Christian while you're in jail, and as soon as you leave, you lose that. And the reason is because they don't have that support mechanism when they leave. And an organization like this is there to come alongside them, to give them that direction, because as soon as they walk out, they're going to go right back to where they came from. They got nowhere else to go. And it's just that cycle that continues, like John just talked about, the revolving door. They're back in again. And in law enforcement, we continue to deal with that over and over and over again. And I truly believe the only way to break that cycle is through, my personal belief, is through Lord Jesus Christ. And an organization like this is there to be there, walk alongside them, to minister to them, and help them take those right steps in life. And if we can change that, then it's going to also change our community for the better. So I just want to say that I'm 100% in favor of this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Morning. For the record, I'm Scott Vanderbeck, retired circuit judge. I've got 30 plus years the criminal law area. I'm in favor of this. I'm in favor of the request by Inspiration Ministries for LaGrange County to assist them to start an adult home for placement and recovery assistance for ex-offenders who have alcohol and drug problems. In my experience, it seems that over half of the people who face criminal charges have cases involving the use of alcohol and illegal drugs. Many of those who were repeat offenders did not positively respond to the tools available in probation. People who are addicted to drugs and alcohol have trouble following the rules of probation. Another treatment alternative is available. Inspiration Ministries involves a Christ-centered education, housing, fellowship. It requires employment and has a staff that enforces those rules. These factors better address the needs of addicted people. No treatment program guarantees success. Human behavior is too complicated. However, Inspiration Ministries has a proven track record in housing, treatment, and making productive citizens of ones who have fallen into addictive patterns. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
Good morning. My name is John Drum. I've been living in LaGrange County for about 20 years now. I served three times in prison. I've been in and out of jails most of my life. Was a drug addict for 38 years of my life. The first 2 times I came out of prison, I went right back to doing what I was doing. The third time out of prison, I finally got right with Jesus, with God, and I've been serving him ever since. At this point in my life, I come to the conclusion that a man going to prison is one thing, but a man coming out the same way is another. To go into prison, to be through that cycle and not having an awakening in your heart is something that we all face when we go to prison. The third time around, I got right with God, like I said, and I've been able to move forward in my life, to do the right things, to make the right choices, to surround myself with Christian folk that believe in the same thing I believe in. And I just think it's really, really important for us to know that every man's life is important, and every man needs a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth chance. I mean, some of these guys that we minister at the jail here in LaGrange County, some of these guys have been in that rotating door just like I was. And when you come out and you get that jailhouse religion, which I had twice, and you come out, you're really gung ho. But as soon as you step past that gate, you have that desire to want to do the things that you hate the most, and that's what we do. With this organization, with Inspiration Ministries, it gives a man an opportunity to stop dead in his tracks and get right with God for a period of time, so that he can be enriched with the goodness of God, to know how he's supposed to be as a man, how he can help raise his kids up in a godly way, to make the right choices in life, to do the right things, to act the right way, to hold doors for people that don't deserve to be held. And I just want to read this right here, but my life has been totally a chaos for many years of my life. I wasn't a son, a father, a grandfather, a husband, or even a man. I could not do it without Jesus Christ. And I know that this program right here enlightens these men would have opportunity to have the time to sit back and to enjoy that grace that God's given each and every one of us, to understand that his goodness is indwelled into you, and you have opportunity in your life to do the right things. I once was a guy that looked at one of these guys out here that runs a great business in town. I said, man, what's going on with him? How is it possible that he's able to do the right things? And I know today that it's because of God, not because of his strength, but God is indwelled in him. And we have opportunity to encourage these men to have the same thing. So if I just take another minute to read this letter that I wrote, is that cool?
You're over 3 minutes.
Okay, so I'm over 3 minutes, but I want to say thank you. And I want to thank God for having the opportunity to come here and speak.
Right.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, I hate to do that, but we got a time here today, so.
So my name is Michael Rowe. I'm not from LaGrange. I'm from Huntington County. I'm the product of generational addiction. I spent 10 years in prison and a lifetime of poor choices. When I was released from prison, I relapsed and almost died. I actually did die out back of a halfway house. I was taken to my county jail, and from there I was introduced to Inspiration Ministries. That was 2 years ago. I spent 9 months in their program. I showed up with a pair of sweatpants, 3 socks, and a t-shirt. No clue why I had 3 socks. These people took care of me. These people not only took care of me, they showed me where I could go to find God. These people put me in a home. These people cared for me the first time in my entire life. I'm 38 years old. I didn't know how to be a man. These people showed me how to act like a man, walk like a man, talk like a man. And now I can tell you that what Miss Nancy said, I'm the house manager of that facility we just opened. These people not only gave me love, direction, correction, they gave me a career. I have a calling now in my life. These people showed me how to listen to God. They showed me how to walk on my own 2 feet. I have never been back to jail since then. I've never been in trouble with my probation officer. I've never been happier in my entire life. And I never knew anything different until I met those people, until I met Inspiration, until I met Andy, until I met Don. And these aren't people that are in the background just having other people do these things. I had class with Andy. I've had class with Don. These men have come in and they sit with us. They tell us their stories. They tell us how they met. They tell us what they went through. And then they show us how to step up and find God and let him walk us through it. It's incredible what this place can do. And I felt like you guys needed to know that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Nathan Wright. I'm also one of those second chance folks that Nancy brought up. I was an Eagle Scout at the age of 14. I graduated top 10 in my class from Jimtown High School. I then joined the military and did 10 years as a U.S. Army infantryman. And then I got in 20 years of addiction. And I was facing a level 5 and 5 level 6 felonies. And by the grace of God, that judge looked at me that day and said, Mr. Wright, I don't think prison's going to do you right. I think you need to go to this 9-month program. And that was back in early 2024. I came in Inspiration Ministries, the same house that Mike was in, and walked through the door and had a big, long biker beard guy named Bill Parker give me a big hug and say, hey, man, we love you. I didn't know what I was walking into. I had no idea where my life was going to go from there. But all I knew was I was given a chance not to go to prison. Like I said, that was back in 2024. I'm now a case manager at that same house that I came into that day. And I get to walk alongside these men every single day, get them a job, get them social security cards, birth certificate, things that they've never had in 40 years of living. So I just wanted to share that with you, that I am one of those second chance guys. I actually came from a county that doesn't offer anything like what Inspiration has. So when the opportunity came up for me to come tell my story to a county who doesn't offer what Inspiration has out our way, go for it, guys. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Josh Emmenheiser. I'm a resident of DeKalb County, Indiana. I also am a second chance a war veteran and from Kosovo in 99 and 2000. Took me in a down spiral into addiction. 2017, I ended up going to prison for 5 years for battery charges, drug use, drug paraphernalia. And when I was released from prison, parole did also give me a second chance and put me in Inspiration Ministries. In 2023, I graduated from the program. I was just using drugs, to mask my underlying conditions that defined who I thought I was. But Inspiration Ministries showed me a different way of life. They taught me a duty to obey. I asked Jesus Christ into my heart in 2022, and if I call myself a Christian today, we need to submit to the laws, pay taxes, and live peacefully as a testimony of our faith, honoring God through good citizenship. And if I can read a scripture, Romans 13, 1-7 says, let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. Consequently, whoever rebels against the authority is rebelling against what God has instituted. And those who will do diligence bring judgment on themselves. For rulers had no terror for those who do right, but for those who do wrong. If you want to be free from fear of the one in authority, then do what is right and you will be commended. For the one in authority is God's servant for your good. But if you do wrong, be afraid, for rulers, excuse me, do not bear the sword for no reason. They are God's servants, agents of wrath to bring punishment on the wrongdoers. I wasn't serving God then, and I'm pretty sure that's why the judge sent me to prison. Therefore, it is necessary to submit to authorities, not only because of the people of possible punishment, but also as a matter of conscience. With all this being said, I came back. I'm actually still on probation. I was just modded off of a felony case 2 months ago and stepped into a position of a case manager at the North Farm in Butler, Indiana. Became a certified peer support professional for the state. And lastly, I truly believe that like-minded individuals like me in LaGrange County could have this opportunity. It would make a great difference. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning. Merry Christmas to you guys. So as pastor of Brighton Chapel, I'm just honored. I was watching this all unfold, and I'm just proud of our people. I love our county, and I'm excited for John and Alicia Drum doing what they're doing with this house, and then come alongside of Inspiration Ministries. And then when John couldn't read his letter, I thought I'll give him my 3 minutes to do that. To whom it may concern, in the midst of this crooked and perverse generation, here we are among the least, the last, and the lost. Men desiring a change in their life. The Bethesda House offers that opportunity for men coming out of jail, prison, or even a man in the community that just can't get right. A faith-based program, God, structure, rules, and laws to follow. A grace period for them to heal, a job, licenses, families restored, all the things a man needs to do, but most importantly, the relationship with God, Jesus. I've been ministering at the LaGrange County Jail for about 2 years now. Multiple men have spoken. I have nowhere to go. I'm going to do better this time. I'm afraid to go back. When I hear these things, I'm so broken inside. I know they are coming back more broken than before. I've witnessed them on the street. They say they are fine, battered, broken, homeless, and we do nothing. They need a grace train. I've never been through the program, although I was in and out of jails numerous times, prison 3 times, a drug addict of 38 years. It was a rotating door for me until I got on the grace train. The Bethesda House supplies everything a man needs to overcome his wrongdoings. I personally had a one-on-one with Jesus. Some of us need to be carried to the cross. We would love to, for you, LaGrange County, to help support, carry these men and families in need. Sincerely, a friend in Christ, John Drum.
Thank you. Doc?
Warren Helmuth. I've been a resident here at LaGrange since 2009. I've been a surgeon at the hospital since then. Since my wife doesn't spend as much money as she used to, I'm actually mostly retired. So I don't really have much to add to what's been said. It's been wonderful. I've had a patient that's I don't want to call them clients, but a person that's been in the program, and he's displayed a remarkable transformation. I don't have a speech. I just wanted to say that I want to put my vote of confidence and support behind the enterprise. Thanks.
Thanks, Doc. Lauren Helmuth.
Good morning. My name is Andrew Foster. I'm reading this letter on behalf of Tara Streb. And this is what she said. Good morning. My name is Tara Streb, and I serve on the Kendallville City Council, as well as working as the COO for Noble County's lead economic development organization. I'm here today to share my strong support for the Recovery Housing Project in LaGrange County and Kendallville. We've had the privilege of seeing firsthand what a program like this can accomplish. Since Inspiration opened its doors in 2021, our community has seen criminal investigations decrease by 35%. And alcohol-related charges dropped by 10% when compared to the 3-year average. But the numbers only tell part of the story. Inspiration has truly become a part of our community. They've restored 2 vacant buildings, brought new life to properties that once stood empty, and the residents regularly volunteer at community events. And perhaps most inspiring of all, one graduate has even opened up his own business in historic downtown, becoming not only a success story, but an employer, a taxpayer, and a neighbor. What sets Inspiration apart is that they don't just help men and women achieve sobriety. They help them build the skills to live independently, contribute positively, and reenter society as productive citizens. They help restore families. They help restore hope. This matters deeply, not just on a human level, but for the long-term economic development and health of our small towns. Strong communities are built by strong people, and recovery housing is a proven way to strengthen both. Thank you for your time and consideration for the lasting impact this project can have on LaGrange County.
Thank you.
Hi, guys. Hi, and thank you for allowing me to come and share a few things. My name is Chris Short. I'm the director of the men's program. I want to start by sharing my own life has been deeply impacted by faith-based programming. Much of my immediate family has also been transformed through faith-based recovery, as we were once heavily involved in drugs. It wasn't until the Lord revealed himself to us that we found a place of refuge where we could grow, heal, and learn about Jesus and the plan of salvation over 6 years ago now. Today, I want to share 3 really cool things about Inspiration Ministries. First is the case management model through the program. The first thing I want to highlight is our case management model, which supports residents through the entire 9-month program. From the very beginning, each individual is assigned a case manager. And during the blackout period, which is the first 45 days, when residents have no phones, jobs, or visits, case managers help with critical needs such as health insurance, food stamps, doctor appointments, court, and legal requirements. Once residents move out of the blackout phase, case managers begin working closely with the unemployment, including transportation, to apply for jobs and ensuring each resident is actively seeking work until employment is secured. In the second phase of the program, case managers assist with the budgeting, obtaining licenses, purchasing vehicles, and saving money for housing. In phase 3, case managers work directly with residents to create a solid exit plan, whether that means supportive housing or independent living in community. Graduation is taken seriously, and residents must meet clear requirements before completing program. Second thing is Inspiration provides a supportive housing, which is available only to the graduates of the program. This housing gives individuals, many of whom have no family support, a chance to live in healthy community environments. It allows felons to obtain housing, gives men the opportunity to work, continue saving money, and live with accountability. Supportive housing helps residents integrate into healthy family-like environments while continuing to build stability and maintain long-term sobriety. The third thing is partnership with the local churches. The third and final aspect I want to share is our strong partnership with the local churches. Churches come alongside us by teaching foundational biblical principles and building real relationships with residents. These churches and individual mentor residents, spend time with them, invite them into their lives, and participate in activities like fishing, meals, and fellowship. This involvement allows people in recovery to see what healthy, Christ-centered life looks like. Residents learn new behaviors, attitudes, and values.
Okay.
And many graduates go on to find lasting spiritual families through these churches' connections.
Your time's up, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Good morning. My name's Don Harvey. I serve as the Vice President and Board Chairman for Inspiration Ministries, and I just really wanted to quickly give you another perspective also of the organization. I wanted you to know that I met Andy just a couple months after he served his time in prison. So I was there when he had the first conversation about establishing and starting a 501c3, and that was 14 years ago. This year, just last month, during our last board meeting, we just approved next year's budget of $3.5 million. Pretty astounding for just a little, what I would say is a mom and pop little nonprofit organization. But what I want to communicate is this. We have a tremendous board. And I want you to know that because they are community and business leaders. and they are operationally and financially successful individuals. And this project is going to be handled with a great deal of care and concern, fiscally specifically. My background, I have a business degree from IU down at Bloomington. I got my MBA from Taylor University, but I left my engineering job in 2020 to work full time with Inspiration Ministries because of, I think, just because of the light bulb that finally went on in my head to care for those around me and in the community that I didn't even realize were there. Those that we would call the marginalized or the least, the last, and the lost. That's how dedicated I am just to those that we serve. And I just want you to know I'm dedicated to this project, and it's going to be managed and operated with the utmost care and financial responsibility. Appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay,
And close it. All right, we can close the public hearing. Thank you. Thank you all for coming as well.
we're gonna close the public hearing. We do have some questions. There are some legal issues that we want addressed. I have no problem with the program and everything. It's just there's some things here that we need to get fixed.
Yeah, that's no problem.
So Kurt,
Sure, I'll just start to go through. So as all of you know, I mean, first, my comments have nothing to do with being in favor or against. They're informative only for you three. So I'll kind of go through, because we just got this over the weekend. I haven't had a chance to talk to any of you about this. So this may be kind of lengthy, so bear with me.
You have 3 minutes.
So we were given 7 documents to look at over the weekend, which I have gone through them carefully. You also gave me the task of completing, which I have done, a letter of intent, and we added conditions to it, specifically 8 of those, and we can go over those detail. Those conditions on the transfer of the real estate will conflict with some of the documents that they have prepared, specifically resolutions and some of the others. So what I would tell you is that if it's still your intent to keep those conditions on this letter of intent, then these documents are going to have to be modified to reflect those conditions. So that's the overall comment that I have for you, if you want to keep those conditions enforceable. Okay, so then going through each of the documents, the first one is innocuous, the transcription authority letter. So I don't have any comments on that. The resolution, I have a lot of comments, but I'll save all of them basically because it needs to, in my opinion, once again, if your commitments in the original letter of intent are to be maintained, it needs to be modified, the resolution, to make it clear that the county has no obligation for a match. It uses the resolution uses the words matching funds. Obviously, that must have something to do with trying to get Oprah to score this properly. I don't know. It also talks about the fact that you're doing this to alleviate blight in the area, which I'm guessing that's because they're trying to fit within some sort of program that Oprah has that requires alleviating blight. It seems inappropriate to me because that particular area isn't blighted to my knowledge, but that's something that you need to be aware of, that is a concern that ought to be addressed, which we won't be able to do today, of course. Then there's lots of typos, etc., which you can correct if you need to. There is a local match letter. Once again, talks about matching when I didn't think you were obligating any funds other than the $500 county game, and it talks about those opioid funds, but it doesn't make it clear that you're not obligated. It says LaGrange County is committing $150,000, and it goes on later to talk about the fact that out of that 150, you're going to get 149 and change from Inspiration Ministries, and you're contributing 500. But I think it needs to be more clear that if for some reason they don't provide the 149, you're not paying the 150,000 because this letter doesn't make that clear. in my opinion. And once again, that's inconsistent with your conditions that you placed on this when you originally told me to provide this letter of intent. The HUD brochure, like I said, I'm summarizing these comments to try to save time. Has a lot of information in it with regard to relocation, et cetera. And I understand why they have to provide it, but they're asking you to sign acknowledging and agreeing to the terms and conditions of this HUD information booklet. Once again, it's inconsistent because it's designed to be for when there's a complete gift that's unconditional. You clearly are making, unless you're going to change that. If you're going to make the gift of the real estate unconditional, then this is appropriate. If you're going to keep the conditions, then this is not appropriate and it needs to be modified. So moving to the disclosure report, which was a document that was prepared for HUD. I have a lot of concerns with it. The biggest ones are that just how it's filled out. It says specifically, if you check the box no under part 1, question 1, you're to stop. You're not to complete the rest of it. Well, they completed the rest of it, which makes no sense to me. So I would want to understand either the questions answered wrong and they should have checked yes, which then brings out a lot of other questions, or they shouldn't have completed the form. It should have stopped like the form says after you check the box. No. So something to work through. The CDBG signature page document, CDBG signature page document, where it's requiring Terry you to sign. You're warranting completion of this project within 18 months. There's a lot of assurances that are in there with regard to the completion of this project. I just want to make sure you understand that. And the consequences, of course, would be you'd have to pay the money back for the grant. So just need to make sure you understand that. Then finally, at least with respect to the sub-grant recipient agreement, we had talked about, and you told me that you wanted our sub-grant recipient agreement, which we use for other federal grants and CDBG grants in the past, to be utilized. This document, of course, is not that document at all, of course. It's also inconsistent with your commitments that you made in here because it doesn't reference any of the conditions of the grant of the real estate. So I would humbly suggest that if you're forced to sign this document to get the grant with Inspiration Ministries, that it be modified or amended or something to include the conditions as well as the traditional sub-grant recipient agreement that you require folks like council and aging, et cetera, to sign. So that's a quick summary of a detailed review, which is my job on your behalf to point out. You decide whether any of that matters or not. But from my perspective, the program and its merits aside, the documents are not in order. Now, I do have your letter of intent, which is what you asked me to prepare for signature today, not knowing you were going to have all these to sign until this weekend. So that document is ready for you to consider approving and signing as well.
Can I see that document there, Kurt?
Okay.
You guys got any comments or thoughts or?
Well, I'm concerned about what Kurt had to say. I think it's needs to be reviewed and
Those documents are samples from Okra, so they are, you can revise them based on what the county does. So the subrecipient and the resolution, those are just classic samples that Okra provides us that we fill
You
out.
send out to everybody?
Yeah, that they have on their website. Those are the ones that we are supposed to reference and provide for the communities or the counties, cities, whatever. So if you have something that you already use and you want to adapt it, that's fine.
Okay.
The disclosure report, I will double check that. The one that he's concerned with.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling that it's probably supposed to be yes, but those are automated checkpoints. So I made a note to double check that when I get back to the office. The blight also, this is, I made note to say that is because of, you can probably take it out for this project because you're not renovating anything. So that's why that's in there. And it's also HUD verbiage. So they umbrella everything as far as the project goes. So I wanted to make sure that you were aware of that.
Yeah, my biggest concern is, I don't want to have the county spend a lot of money on this. We're possibly giving you guys a chunk of land here. I figured that'd be enough for the county side,
Right.
but, and the, opioid funds, that's a different story. That's
Sure.
the committee and everything on
Mhm.
that. But, that's my biggest concern is that we don't want to incur a large
Yeah.
amount of cash on the taxpayer side.
Yep. And whatever needs to be done as far as resolution and local match letters, that all can be revised to meet the needs of, what,
Okay.
So
yeah,
can
what
this
your
be,
attorney said.
can this be done in the time frame that we're looking
I
at?
don't know when they need it, but
When do you-
I'm leaving Thursday and I won't be back for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
When do you guys need all this?
So it's due Friday.
You decide what project you want me to put on hold, make this happen.
And whatever we can help with, just let us know.
What else you working on, Kurt?
I don't have much to do anymore.
I heard someone mention February the 16th as a date.
That date is for anybody that wants to put in a letter. So we have, Okra does these construction projects
Okay.
in two parts. So the proposal, which is where they want to see these things, because if Okra decides, hey, this doesn't correspond with what we want. So they have proposals due this Friday. And then what will happen is the second or third week of January, Okra will do a site visit and they'll come and meet with whomever, whoever can on the county side, and Inspiration Ministries, they'll give us what they feel that the proposal showed. And then the application is due February 22nd.
So what's the bare minimum you would need from us?
So I would definitely need, at least, Terry, I would need you to sign the signature page. I don't believe I would need the attorney's signature on that.
Signature page of what document?
It would be the CDBG, what's it titled here? Hold on, I have the email. It's titled CDBG signature page.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah, so that one is the one that Okra does require, because it's saying the county is allowing this partnership and this application.
That's the only document you need signed by Friday.
I need that one. I will double check. I need the local match letter. I'll double check the resolution. I'm not comfortable in saying that we can't have that. But definitely the local match letter, which is budget related. They want to see the budget.
Local match, is that the 500 the council gave you, or is that the land?
So that's just a letter saying, Inspiration does this as well. So it's the letter saying the county is committing these funds, but it's coming from Inspiration. I believe you wanted to which we could revise that definitely, so the county is not liable in case Inspiration Ministries isn't. So that is what that's saying. We need that because of the budget that Inspiration Ministries will provide.
They only need local match letter and CDB signature page. I can make those changes and have it to you by Friday.
Okay. And I'll double check with Okra to make sure that they have changed their verbiage where they want 95% of the application at proposal. We're gonna have to do environmental review. So I don't know if they're assuming that the 5% of the project is the environmental review in the final public hearing. So I'm gonna double check with that is new verbiage in their application. So I will have to double check that. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot.
It's just we're, it's rushed. That's a thing.
It is. It's
short
very,
time.
it's very rushed.
So-
And I want to say that's purposefully done on Okra's side because they
Yeah.
want to weed out the ones that are not ready.
Yeah. So would you need a letter for the land too, or?
So they haven't given us guidance on what they need for land. Application, they would like some sort of appraisal. I don't know if it needs to be a formal appraisal. I didn't anticipate on putting anything in the proposal for that.
Okay.
For what it's worth, for what it's worth, in our last two projects, we've heard words like shovel ready. And so I think our hope is, with your approval, of course, that having an address, having something identified is just going to make it the strongest. We agree that it's rushed. I wish it was different. And like I've said before, it really weeds out a number of organizations within the state, which I think has made us very competitive over the years. But yeah, with your approval of the land and some of the contingencies that Kurt has talked about, and I think that there's some, modifying that can be done. It's really going to make our strongest proposal. And we've talked a little bit about the financials, just a reminder that like state and federal funds, these are, there's a pay schedule to this. And so if we get the grant, it's not like there's a bucket of money and if something happens, we're paying money back. The pay schedule really becomes a part of the project. So money comes in and goes out because the project is moving. There's evidence, there's engineers and contractors that are involved for that work to happen. And Inspiration Ministries is committed to the $150,000 that we have mentioned. And you'll see that it's, again, as the project is going and pay number one comes, then we're putting that money in. You're going to see that right away. If the first thing is 200 grand, we'll probably be on the hook for, 30% of that. And they're going to give you the money to pay the contractors from Okra. So there'll be no money that you'll be in possession of that anybody's going to say, oh, you've got to pay that back. It's all kind of in the progress of the project and the pay schedules and things like that.
That's all nice, but that's not what the document says.
Yeah, I know. And so, but you think you can have the two they need for?
They need those 2 letters and I don't know if I have a Word version or a PDF, but if I have Word versions, I can make those changes and get them done and get them to you to sign.
I'll double check. I have both.
If you can get that to Kurt, we can get that done by Friday
Yeah.
for you guys.
Yep.
So they don't need the resolution then.
I'm gonna double check.
Well, we're not gonna be able to make it. I mean, you can't wait for her to double check
Yeah.
and have another meeting by Friday.
No, it can't.
We'll see. I will check strictly with Okra before I would confidently say that we could.
The resolutions for the land, is that?
No, that's just something that you
Yeah.
came up with at the beginning when that's all they were asking. But that letter of intent is ready for you to approve. So you can address that anytime you want.
Okay.
If those conditions are what you want on there, we talked about it.
Mhm.
It's never been formally presented to you. It's just a 1-page letter of intent with the attached map that they gave me, and I added those provisions that we discussed in the last, whenever we had.
Could we approve the resolution pending the changes
You
and,
can,
that way if they
but.
need it or not,
You
then,
can, and then the dilemma will be if the changes that I make aren't acceptable, what happens?
yeah.
The ones, I'm not making any changes other than what I've told you.
Mm.
But if you want these things done the way I'm recommending, changes need to be made.
Mhm.
None of this references this conditional gift.
Yeah.
Make it clear that you're not, unless you want to be obligated on 150.
Well, I think reading this, I mean, it's, we're just, according to this, is just for 500.
They commit, yeah.
So,
They commit to 149,735.
and then they're committing the other,
I would change that letter too.
Pete.
would you,
Say that if you read the first line. says that-
yeah, it says, we're committing 150,000, LaGrange County is. Then they got it broken down to where the ministries has got 149, then we got the 500,
But
so,
it doesn't say what happens if you don't have it.
Yeah.
So I think it should be made clear that if you don't, because you don't have any money appropriated.
no.
You don't have authority probably from the council. to
No, the
sign.
council just appropriated $500.
That's why I'm saying, because you don't have authority from council, I would make changes to that document as well. I'd make changes to all of them, but I don't know what all they need for Friday, but that's what we need to know. So I want to focus my energy on what they need for Friday.
Yeah.
But I need to know now. So that
This is something, so the resolution, you can revise that after, and we can submit that. I'm saying his revisions can happen after, and I can submit that to Okra, even between proposal and application,
Mhm.
to be sure. Also something we can discuss in the site visit.
So does that mean we could do it at we could,
29.
the 29th? or
I think
December?
so. I think so. This is rushed on my end
I
too.
know.
So knowing the new Okra thing saying 95%, they don't tell you what the 95% is. So that part is a bit
Not to
scary.
speak for Sandra, but yes, we will get you exactly what you need
Yeah.
and bring it to your office and slide it under your door. Anything that we need to do to get you the right information, then we will do that.
Well, I know he needs the what you said, the work.
Word version. I think I have.
I have all of that.
Kathy forwarded them to me,
Yeah.
but I don't
Yeah.
think I have all of them. And of course, we need to know the answer to the question that she's gonna get on that signature.
Yeah.
On that, not that report, that HUD disclosure report and the signature. The one that's got the box check. No,
Disclosure.
disclosure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sooner you get that to him, the better off.
I'll check as soon as I leave here.
So what about, what are you guys gonna do with this?
Because that one's required to be signed by you under the penalty of perjury.
Yeah. I'm not going to jail. I don't want the sheriff putting me in jail down there.
I mean, that's where the rubber hits the road, Terry, is you're signing under the penalties of perjury on these things, as long as you know what you're doing.
Well, we can get the things you need by Friday.
Okay, I'll go double check for
so-
sure. Most of those, I want to be clear. You need the sub-recipient in Word. I think that one is already in Word. The resolution, the authorization of resolution. Okay, I think that one's in Word as well. And then
Local match letter.
local match letter, that one's in Word. And then the other two are PDFs.
Okay, well, we'll just have to deal with them and we can make amendments, but it sounds like the only one that matters is CDBG signature page document.
That one is the one that will need just yours, your signature on to put a proposal. It's basically just approving the applicant, approving to apply for this program.
Right.
So I can give you some suggestions if you want. If you're in favor of this project, you probably ought to pass a motion that you're in favor of this project and authorize all documents that are necessary to be signed outside of a meeting by all three of you, because I don't know what all is going to be signed.
We won't let Terry go into jail.
But, and then, I don't know if you want to approve that letter of intent, but you've talked about it for a while, and I
Yeah.
would recommend you approve the letter of intent. Authorize it to be signed.
Does it matter which order we do these in? Okay, so the easy one, I'll make a motion that we approve the letter of intent. Be signed.
I'll second that.
We have motion second to approve the letter of intent. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And then the second motion would be to authorize Kurt to get all the documents, I guess, adjusted to where we're comfortable,
I
or?
think what I'm looking for to help, given that you're trying to do this in the middle of the week and you don't have another meeting, is a motion to approve this as presented, subject to
Okay.
the legal documents being modified.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve this subject to the legal documents being modified and to be signed outside a public meeting by all three of us.
Second.
We have motion second to what Peter said.
Don't ask me to repeat it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, there you go. Hope we can get this stuff done by Friday for you, so you guys can get going and
Get it done.
that, so. really-
Thank you.
Really, thanks. Yeah. We don't get that very often out here clapping for us.
I think they're. Who's got the signed letter? Thank you. You'll get it to me.
Yes.
Color version.
Okay. You guys have anything else?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
The motion second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
What do you
Suddenly,
think of that?
Well, it's like business cards.